In this video, we are going to learn how to solve partial fraction with Casio calculator easily in a matter of seconds, especially for multiple choice questions. Now, after going through this video, you'll be able to solve partial fraction questions easily with Casio Fx-991 ES Plus calculator in a matter of seconds, especially for multiple choice questions. So stay with me till the end of this video. Okay, let's begin. Let's look at the examples I have here and solve them together. Example 1 here says resolve the expression 5x plus 2 all over 3x squared plus 4x minus 4 into partial fraction. And these are our options. So right now, let's bring the Casio calculator we are going to use to solve this problem. Okay, the first thing we are going to do will be to clear the calculator. Very important to avoid unnecessary error. Whenever you want to solve new questions like this, you are advised to clear the calculator to avoid unnecessary error while solving. So to clear, you simply press Shift, this button 9, then follow the instructions. We want to clear, also you press 3, then equal to and equal to again. So we have cleared the calculator. The next thing we are going to do will be to store a real number in the calculator. We are going to use to evaluate this expression and also use it to evaluate each and every one of these options to get our answer. Note that you can store real numbers like 2, 3, or 4, but I recommend you to be working with 2 because personally I've worked with 2 for a long time and I have not found any error with it. So I recommend you to be working with 2. So right now we're going to work with 2 in this video. So let's store 2. To store, you press the number first 2, then press Shift, this RCL button, then the S button. So once you do it, it indicates here that 2 has been stored as X in the calculator. So you wipe it. The next thing I'm going to do now is to impute this expression in the calculator. So let's do it in fraction. We have here 5x, 5. To bring out x, we press alpha before pressing the S button. Very important. If you just press S alone without pressing the alpha, S will not come out unless you press alpha first before pressing X button. Very important. So take note of this point. So there we have 5x plus 2 all over 3x squared alpha x squared plus 4x alpha x minus 4. So let's press equal to and see what we get as an answer. So there we have 3 over 4. If you like, you can change it to a decimal number. To do that, you press ST 0.75. So right now we're going to evaluate each and every one of these options to see the option that will give us 0.75 or 3 over 4 as an answer. So let's begin with option A. We wipe this. So option A, we have 1 over x plus 2, which is alpha x plus 2 plus in fraction again 2 over 3x alpha x minus 2. So let's press equal and see what we're going to get as an answer. 2 over 4. So option A is the right answer to this question. There's no need evaluating option B and the rest of the options since we have already gotten our answer to be option A. So this is how you can solve partial fraction questions with Casio calculator. In summary, all you have to do will be to store a real number, which I recommend 2, and use that real number to evaluate the question and also use it to evaluate the options to get your answer. It's very simple. Let's solve example 2. Example 2 here, see, resolve the expression minus 8 over x plus 1 plus 11 over x plus 2 into partial fraction. So we are still going to make use of the way number we stored, which is 2, to evaluate this expression, and also use it to evaluate each and every one of these options. So let's begin with the question. There we have minus 8 over x plus 1, which is alpha x plus 1 plus a fraction 11 over x plus 2, which is alpha x plus 2. So let's press equal to and see what we get as an answer. 1 over 12. If you like, you can change it to a decimal number, 0.08. So right now we are going to evaluate each and every one of these options to see the one that give us 1 over 12. So let's begin to write this with option A. So there we have 3x, which is 3 alpha x minus 5 all over there x square alpha x square plus 7x alpha x plus 2. So let's press equal to and see what we get. 1 over 20, no. So let's evaluate option B. So in fraction, we have 3x alpha x minus 5. We have x square alpha x square plus 3x plus 2. Okay, so let's press record and see what we are going to get as an answer. 1 over 12. So option B is the right answer to this question. Very simple. So this is basically how you can solve partial fraction questions with Casio calculator. It's very simple. We're going to learn how to solve this partial fraction tricky question with the Casio Fx-991 ES Plus scientific calculator. After going through this video, I guarantee you that this kind of tricky question, I'll not basically say that it's complex, but it's tricky. Okay, just for you to understand what it's talking about, and you will know that it's simple but tricky as well. So after going through this video, you'll be able to do it fast and seconds. So let's get the Casio calculator and go into the details. So this is Casio Fx-991 ES Plus scientific calculator. As usual, as I have always said, you have to reset it or clear it. To do that, press shift, go to 9, follow the instruction, press 3, quotes and quotes again. So we have cleared the calculator now. The next thing will be to, if you look at the options we have here, what that thing or what these values mean is that the alphabet A stands for a number, the alphabet B stands for a number. Okay, so we're going to store A as 13 on the calculator, store B as 22 on the calculator, and store 2 as x to replace x plus x in this x plus 3, and do the simplification and see if we're going to get an output that will equal what we also have when we simplify what we have here at the left hand side of the equation. That's 7x minus 3 over x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay, so let's begin so now we understand it better step by step. First, let's store 2 as x. You press this, shift store x. Okay, now let's store A as 13. So you press 13 first, press shift store, look at A button. Okay, now let's store 22 as our B. Okay, 22 shift star B. Look at B button. Okay, so let's begin with simplifying the question. So remember, we stored x as 2 to use it to simplify this question. So we have 7x alpha x minus 3 over, so we have s squared plus 5x alpha x plus 6 is equal to, so we have 11 over 20 or 0.55. Right now we're going to simplify what we have at the right while replacing a as 13 as b as 22 and see what's going to give us. Okay, so we have a fraction. You impute a alpha a. Remember, a we studied as 13 already. Okay, we have a over, and the denominator is in bracket x plus 2. Okay, then we have plus our fraction, our b is 22. So let's replace it with b here. Remember, knowing that b is standing as 22. So we have over, we have c, our c of x there is x plus 3, alpha x plus 3. So that's what we have there. Let's check. So c of x is x plus 3. That's all. Remember that the x in this x plus 3, we stored x as 2. Okay, so basically when you check, x plus 3 is 5. So instead of doing x plus 3, you can replace it with 5. Anyone will still work. Okay, just understand the logic behind it. Now let's press equal to and see if we're going to have 0.55. No? So this is not what we got. So right now we're going to check option B. So let's wipe everything. The answer has to be option B. Okay, so let's start from the beginning and do this. Very interesting, guys. Now let's store minus 17 as A. Okay, minus 17 as A. Okay, then store 24 as B. Then as usual, store our 2 as X. Okay, so let's go again. Remember, when we simplify this 7x minus 3 over x squared plus 5x plus c, we got 0.55. So let's just check the equation on the right hand side. So we have alpha a, our a is minus 17 now. Okay, over in bracket x plus 2, sorry, x plus 2. Okay, close the bracket. So come to this side, we have plus in fraction our b, alpha b over, so our c of x is x plus 3, alpha x plus 3. Remember, our b is 24. So let's press the quotes and see what we're going to have. Correct, 0.55. So the correct option to this question is option B. This was the value we got when we simplify 7x over 3. When we simplify 7x minus 3 over x squared plus 5x plus 2. So guys, this is basically how you can deal with this kind of tricky partial fraction question with the Casio calculator in seconds and fast. Hope you learned something interesting from this video. If you are new to the channel, ensure you hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. Also like, share and comment on this video. Tell me how you feel from what you have learned from this class. If you seem to have any specific question to ask, feel free to leave your question in the comment section below and I'll be sure to give you a response. Now you can choose to do it this way. Instead of putting a, instead of storing a and b, you can choose to go straight forward. Okay, by doing, since in that a is standing for minus 17, you just put minus 17 straight here. Okay, then we have, the only thing you need to store is just x, the value of x to be 2. So we have alpha x. Okay, start with brackets, then we have plus 2, close the bracket, then come to this side, put your plus value in fraction again, then our b is 24. You will still get the same value. So c of x is alpha x plus 3. Okay, so that's it. Put it in brackets. Okay, press quotes. So you still get the same value. Hope you got the idea of what I just did. So I'll see you in my subsequent video. Don't forget to reset the calculator once you are done. Just press shift button 9 for the instruction and the calculator is cleared. Thanks for watching. I will see you in my subsequent video.